Yeah, we're getting a nice round of mac and cheese. It's very hot. Just made it. It's very important. Grandma always said to eat your vegetables, and it. Oh, hi, Grandma. No, I'm just kidding you. My grandma passed away a little bit ago, so we're gonna work the best with what we can. So back to the mac and cheese we are. But do eat your vegetables. As well, do your budget. If you don't do your budget, what are you doing with your life? Listen a sec. Come here. I got something to show you. Very important thing to know about. Sorry for the redecorating here. It's a little remodeling that my wife is doing. Some stuff here. See this? Right? This right here? Oh wait, hang on a sec. You see this? Oh my gosh, you can't even see it because of the things. Alright, if you don't do a budget, very important. You gotta do your budget. Just like eating your vegetables. Rest in peace. What we got for you today is we are doing the 4 types of spenders that happen in our world. Now, if you don't, I can't say I have the exhaustive list. It's just that rather than ripping off other people and what they call as the types of spenders, and I could name a few, but I'm going to keep the script clean, I'm going to create some framework for 4 different types of spenders that I'm going to call them. And the first one we got here is the flower girl in the garden. We have the analyst. We have an over-enthusiast and the reluctant. So yeah, you can look at them right over there, which keeps it fresh in your brain. Everyone spends money differently, and knowing how you spend money would be a big deal in trying to figure out how you're going to make progress in your life, how you're going to move forward, you're going to save money, you're going to spend it to other places, you're going to invest it, whatnot. And, there's causes, effects, there's ways of interacting with these kind of people, because let me tell you, they're out there, and some of them are nuts, but they're very fun, because when you understand what kind of person you are, you can then adjust your lifestyle to kind of figure it out. Or maybe you're married to somebody that's not the same kind of person as you, which is highly likely, because in every relationship there's someone who spends money more than another person, someone who saves money more than another person. So I made some fun labels and we'll go through them. But do your budget. You gotta do your budget. If you don't do your budget, then there's no way, actually doing a budget is a way to know how you spend money. So if you're like, I don't know which one I am after we go through these, then do your budget. And I can show you how to do a budget. We'll show you how to do a budget later. And that will allow you to explore that. So it's not easy to do a budget. It's not easy to kind of peg yourself on what kind of spender you are, look at your habits, and really look at yourself in the face, in the mirror, and go, yeah, I should change this. But I'll tell you, it's definitely worth it. So is macaroni. Oh my goodness. I love this macaroni. Real za'atar spice from Israel. Some people see spending kind of like a garden. Like they walk around and they go, oh, let's buy that, and let's buy that, and let's buy that. What an opportunity there. That's such a good idea. Woo! And they just like to spend money, right? So the flower girl in the garden picks a flower here, picks a flower there. They pick all the flowers they want. And when a store runs a promotion or a deal or an advertisement, product placement, all that kind of stuff, all these tools they have to drive their sales, certain types of people will spend more, and this is the flower girl in the garden. Unfortunately, stores are very smart, and some people aren't, but we'll talk about that later. It's very likely that in an environment of a flower girl in the garden, in a store with a bunch of stuff, and no budget, do your budget, the flower girl will be convinced to buy something. Right? Now, anyone can be convinced to buy something at any time given the right situation, the right person, and the right product. A good salesman will set all those things up. So yeah, we can talk about those things later, but anybody can be persuaded to buy something at a certain point. So let's see, the flower girl in the garden can begin to understand how they are manipulated into spending when they start to take an objective look at their life. Very difficult to do because a lot of the flower girls are emotional people. They're like, but I want this thing. Please, can I have it? And they just go get it or whatever. Some people, they just, they go spend it. They don't keep the receipt. I know, weird, right? And then they just, they do their life and that's it, right? Now, I'm not that kind of person, but I've understood the benefits of this. So the benefit of this, like, it's kind of like this flower girl person has a secret superpower for opening your eyes to understanding how life can be enjoyed. And you can better extract meaning on like a day-to-day basis of like, oh yeah, I bought food out today instead of always having to cook at home, And if you're always cooking at home, you need a little bit of change. And so the flower girl will go, well, we could just go get a burger. And it's like, okay, great. Go get a burger, right? I mean, maybe they want something a little more dainty, but you can be a guy and be a flower girl in a garden type of spender, right? Okay, wise concepts if you are the flower girl in the garden. Develop a concept that works for you in your brain that allows you to kind of gauge how much money you are actually spending. What do you know? Doing the budget would be a really good way to figure this out. And we're going to do a budget later, not this video, but we're going to do a budget at some point. So stick around if you want to do a budget. I'll show you how to do a budget. It'll be very fun. So gardens kind of, gardens grow back. You pick up flower, grow back, or grow bigger, or whatever. But money has to be earned back, and that takes effort. And so if you're like, well, money will just appear out of nowhere again. I hope that works. I hope that works for you. I hope that goes well. I don't think I've seen that happen. Yeah, someone gives you a gift or something and whatnot. It's just that it takes effort to get that money back again. So a budget would be your best solution, as I said. It's just that numbers might not be your thing. So is there a way you can do this? Maybe you can have like a certain amount of money that drains, and once it gets to zero, you're just like, hey, well, I'm done spending that. Or you could just write down the number when you spend it, or figure out a way that would work for you in your brain to go, this is how much I've spent, instead of you just spending and spending and spending. Let's imagine you're married to this person, or you know someone like this, right? The mental strain that comes from constantly keeping track of expenses can make you tired. And it can maybe make you think like that other person isn't doing it right. So it can actually hurt your connection with that person. So instead of you getting frustrated when they spend their money or your money, but they're probably their money. But if you're married to them, it's both your money. So instead of getting frustrated, just kind of explain why being mindful of expenses is important, especially with your long-term goals, right? That would be super nice. Because long-term goals are everything. Doing a budget is important for long-term goals. You want to have long-term goals. Otherwise, what are you doing? The analyst. Let's do the number 2 guy. So, right there. The analyst. This is the kind of person who sees money as like a mechanical device. They see it as a tool. Deals, discounts, best value products. This is where these people are caught with spending. The analyst will analyze value for cost, and if it makes their life better, hey, they'll take the deal. Like, hey, that makes my life better, let's do it. It has auto-follow, let's do it. That's a great idea. So let's spend the extra, however many dollars to get that. Although this person may not have spent the money if there wasn't the deal, so the deal is the big thing. It would be better for them to have the deal, and so they'll probably jump at the deal. It's just that they don't have to. It could be just that it makes my life better and I'll do it. But they're always analyzing, right? So they're relentless in making progress. They will never stop to improve their life, their situation, home or office. They'll always be improving something. These are the renovators, the people that are like, hey, let's pull that wall out and make this better or whatever. Often, an analyst can become fixated on something that they think is important, but might not actually be. So, here's a wise concept if you are this person. You are your worst nightmare. I have seen the analysts constantly put themselves in jeopardy thinking that they're getting ahead with their spending traits. Let's go to Costco and get that deal, or it's cheaper over there, but you have to drive further now. So what? Weird. So my suggestion would be to relax. Try to approach your finances with a spirit of peace, not criticism or high stakes, which will clear the air for all the analysis, right? Just so you know, I am this kind of person. My dad is this kind of person. He will go to Costco, get the deal. I'll be like, no, I don't want to get it unless it's on sale. I'm looking for that promotion. Hey, it's a 2-for-1. Let's go get it because it adds value. But, would I have already spent the money if it wasn't a deal? That's kind of why they run deals, right? Stuff like that. So I get caught with that sometimes. So let's imagine, I'm talking to my wife and she's married to me. So assistance for you, Mrs. Wife. The mental strain that comes from trying to keep up with my plans and budgets, it can make you feel like there is way too much to deal with. You're far too dense to connect with because what is all this stuff that we have to go through? So I would say, simply ask me why I'm doing this. Explain why I am buying this thing or why it's so important to me. And then maybe there's another way to accomplish my goal. So then if you present, hey, is there another way to accomplish that goal? I'd be happy to rethink the situation. So you can do that for someone that is an analyst. If you're not an analyst, say, why is this important to you? Have you thought about this? Change up the pattern a little bit. Let's look at the third type of person that I've got here. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. It's just we're categorizing for fun here, right? So if you are the flower girl, awesome. If you are the analyst person, great. Over-enthusiast. So this is the kind of person that is like, I really want to do things. Let's go places. Let's give gifts. Let's, do this thing, make a plan. But the rubber doesn't always hit the road. So you're like, all right, that didn't actually happen. I have a friend like this. And you're like, great idea, but that's not really feasible. Okay, sounds good. And then, it ends up not happening really. So if this kind of person, the over-enthusiast, can be partnered with someone who's level-headed or an initiator that is ready to make things happen, then a great idea that the over-enthusiast has can really come to fruition and be like, wow, that was a great event. We went to a hockey game after an hour drive and, got to the arena and parked the car for $60 and spent the $700 tickets and bought the food and wow, that's okay. So anyways, yeah, you gotta drive home. Depending on who you are, it can be extremely difficult to not judge an over-enthusiast. It seems like they have a bunch of half-finished projects or they squawk with no walk. Wise concepts for you if you are this person. If you are the person and you are the over-enthusiast, which it might need to be told because it's not very evident. Ask for help. There are so many amazing ideas that you have stored up that it would be a shame really to never see them come to fruition, never see them happen. You can't just live life at home all day and do nothing. You're the extrovert. You're like, let's go do stuff, and people want that. So yeah, with all those amazing ideas, when an idea comes out of an over-enthusiast, it can either stall or just not really finish. So it can also take a completely different direction. Someone else will be able to keep you on track towards your goal. Let's say, hey, you said we were going to do this thing. What day is that happening, right? So maybe ask someone how do you keep on track with your goals and actually set time and set place and all that kind of stuff, instead of just throwing out an idea there and hoping it happens. So yeah, let's imagine that you're in a relationship with a person like this. You're married to this person. The mental strain of constantly stopping and starting can make you feel very hesitant to believe anything that they say. It may seem like everything is a nebulous wild card. It's I don't know, we could do something, we will do something, unless we don't know. And so instead of, think of this as an opportunity to listen to something deeper of what's happening inside of them. They really want connection with these people, not that they necessarily want to go to this specific event. They just want to host something, So listen to them and like work with them. Say like, hey, yeah, how about this, right? Again, kind of like the analyst. Have you thought about doing this instead? Let's look at the last one. It's called the reluctant. This one's a fun one because nothing happens. It's funny. In terms of money awareness, the reluctant might not understand what to do with their money, and they might be cautious of spending it. So the flower girl will spend it any chance they get. The reluctant will save it or withhold it any chance they get. Even if they have it all figured out, they're not really perfect, as it can be difficult for a person to spend the money. A reluctant might think, I know what I'm going to do with this money, but then they don't actually spend it. And so life can feel stagnant. Unless you're a blatant, irresponsible spender with no budget, everyone goes through the reluctant phase. Like, oh, but I could use this money, but what if I use it over here instead? So, yeah, when you reach a new level of income, you're kind of like, or a new level of expense, you're like, do I really have to spend this money? So you have that reluctance, right? So let's imagine you are this person, even for a brief period of time. Recognize that you will be taken care of, whether by providence, friends, favor, your own abilities. Bad things will happen, so do good things, depending on your situation. Ease off on the boundaries a little bit, and feel free to do what is necessary to invest, give, and spend with intentionality. Otherwise, your money will stagnate, and it'll lose its power over time. You'll kind of be like, it's just disappearing. It's kind of just shrinking. And that's especially if you're not investing. If you're not investing your money's probably going to just sit there and do nothing. So a reluctant person might be reluctant to invest, not just to spend money. Okay, let's have some assistance if you're in a relationship with this person. If I was married to this person, the mental strain of never actually going somewhere and any fear involved, it may make conversations about money an avoidant thing. Hey, you said you were going to do this. Like, when are we going to do this? Or, we put on the calendar to talk about something that you really need, but then after talking about it, you don't really come to a conclusion, So consider breaking down the goal into smaller steps. Like maybe there's a savings fund that you save first and then you spend the money. Doesn't feel like it's this big purchase all at once, but it's like you've saved it up over time and then you finally spend the whole amount. Or maybe it's putting something on auto deposit or auto transfer so that you don't have to think about it and have a reluctant moment. Buying something over time is dangerous. Buying something over time can be a dangerous idea because you might not finish buying the items. You might be like, I was trying to buy something, or like I bought this thing and then I saved up for it and paid myself back later. Or I was saving up $10 every week to buy this $80 item, and then, at week 5, you're like, I want to do something else now, So you might not actually finish it. Or the other problem is you might consider financing something, which financing we're going to stay away from. We're never going to go with a financing option unless it's to ourselves, and we'll talk about that another time. So yeah, that's kind of like a little brief overview on the 4 types of spenders as a starting point, and it certainly comes from my own opinion, just kind of stuff that I wanted to be original. You might find yourself sitting slightly different from any of these, or maybe you're in between the two, maybe you have both. But try to locate your tendencies within these 4 different types of spenders. So as we build out our financial picture, we're going to be able to use these concepts alongside of your personality. Kind of is a little bit of your personality bled into this, but it's a little bit, side by side. For any of the 4 types of spenders, a tool you can use to manage your money is Wealthsimple. It's an online financial institution. It's what I personally use. It's drastically grown in popularity over the years, and it's proven to be better than my bank. So everything my bank offered, they did it better, and so I went, okay, great. So I'll use them. You can find a list of their products that they offer for cash, investing, taxes, more on their website. It's wealthsimple.com. They offer a referral code to every member who is there. So you can actually use my code to score bonus money. It'd be like $25 for you, $25 for me, if you choose to open an account. I don't know if that number changes, it might change, but they also have a lot of giveaways, so you can participate in the giveaways. So if you want to check out more of the features, including tax filing, investments, interest rates, financial coverage, rewards, it's on their website, And use code in the description, because that will be the referral thing that gets you the bonus money and myself. I did not join with, I did not have a referral code. I kind of just discovered it myself. And so I never got that bonus money, sad. But you can, and it will also give me the bonus money. It's the only thing that I ask for if you're going to use this, because this is a free YouTube and everything. Right? So next episode, next video, we're going to look at budgeting. We're actually going to do the budget, because it's kind of like, I see a lot of people talk about budget, talk about money all the time, but they never actually show you what to do. They're talking the ideas, and in principle I'm like, okay, great, yeah, I get it because I've done it. But if you've never done the budget, we're going to do that. And so we're going to, we'll do it on the screen and everything. So until then, I'm going to eat this macaroni. And, I mean my vegetables. Sorry, Grandma, sorry. Vegetables.